We know that Luffy has had some exponential growth over the past 2 arcs. In Whole Cake Island against Katakuri, he learned Future Sight. In Wano, he had 2 advanced Hakis in advanced armament and advanced conquerors, and plus he got his awakening. I'm not one of those people that believe that Luffy is developing too quickly. I understand that Haki blooms in battle, so the stronger the opponent, the stronger your Haki will be. It's kind of similar to anything you do. For example, in sports, when a rookie goes against an all-pro, a Hall of Famer, in order not to get outplayed, you're going to have to rise to the occasion, and that the more that you go against them, the better that you'll get. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. With Luffy's development, he's definitely left a majority of the crew in the dust. I mean, I understand that Luffy is already really stronger than most of them, but especially now, he's on a whole nother level. And the question that I want to ask is, should Luffy be the strongest on the crew? If you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Typically in my videos, I give examples or I explain before I answer my question. However, today, I think I'm going to answer my question first, and I think the answer is yes, Luffy does need to be the strongest one on the crew. In Fishman Island, Zoro said it best when Luffy knocked 50,000 fishmen out. He said if his captain couldn't do at least this, then he doesn't deserve to be the captain. I agree with that. Now, the better question is, how much stronger does Luffy need to be? We all know that Luffy is getting stronger, number 1, to achieve his dream, and number 2, to protect his friends. I mean, I think he's doing a pretty good job of that. He has all 3 types of Haki, and they're advanced as well, plus he has his gears. In this video, I want to specifically highlight Zoro, and no disrespect to Sanji and Jinbei, but in this video, I'm really talking about the right hands, and Zoro and Luffy, they have a different relationship than the other characters do. Zoro is portrayed as Luffy's equal, his right-hand man. In a data book, pre-time skip Zoro was equal in terms of strength to Luffy. Zoro and Luffy, they fought together in defeating Morgans, they fought at Whiskey Peak, defeated the Aqua Laguna, they faced Kaido together and Big Mom on top of the rooftop. I mean, Sanji wasn't there, Jinbei wasn't there. It just shows how special these two are. And the reason why Zoro is depicted this way is because he's Luffy's right-hand man. He's an alpha that doesn't overstep his role, and that's what makes him such a good right hand. The captain of other Yonko crews, they are some of the strongest in the series, some more than others, and I personally believe that each and every Yonko right-hand commander is strong enough to captain their own ship. The 3 of these I specifically want to highlight include Katakuri, Marco, and King. They're definitely strong, but not strong enough to beat their captains. I mean, Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido, those 3 are on a whole nother level. However, these 3 right hands, they are special. They have some unique ability about them that most characters don't typically have. Katakuri, his Future Sight, it allows him to see into the future, and he works that with his Devil Fruit in tandem, allowing him to weave and dodge around different opponents' blows, and that's what makes him really broken. King, he has his durability. When Luffy went against a Seraphim in Gear 4th, and we know that they're only part Lunarian and have their DNA, Luffy compared their durability to Kaido. Plus, King, being a full Lunarian with a Zone Devil Fruit, which is already really durable, you could argue that King is the most durable character in One Piece. That, plus King already with his flame off, he is very fast, and I think that's something that we don't give him credit for. Lastly, Marco, he's known for his Devil Fruit, the Tori Tori Motto Phoenix. It allows for added strength, durability, and healing. All 3 of these right hands are definitely strong. If I had to rank them, they're probably all 3 top 20 strongest in the series. It's just that their captains are on a different level. I don't think that these characters, meaning the right hands, that they're going to get low diff, but I'm also not expecting them to be in an extreme diff fight if they were to fight against their captain. I left Ben Beckman and Shanks out of that category because I think that they are different. I think that this fight could be an extreme diff fight. If I were to put my money on one, I'm definitely picking Shanks, but if you were to tell me that Ben Beckman were to win, I wouldn't be surprised. Also, I want to mention I'm leaving Blackbeard and Shiryu off on this list because I really really don't know how strong and what they're capable of doing. Ben Beckman has been stated to be relatives to Shanks. That means he is close to Shanks in terms of strength. Shanks has all 3 types of Haki, and all 3 of them are advanced, and more likely than not, Ben Beckman has all 3, and all 3 are advanced as well. The only difference is Shanks is probably more proficient at using Haki than Ben Beckman. If we were to give Shanks a 100 in terms of strength, I would probably put Ben Beckman around a 93, 94, maybe even 95. There's also Roger and Rayleigh. Rayleigh has shown that he can use all 3 types of Haki, and at least 2 out of 3 are advanced. More likely than not, he does have advanced Conquerors, and the same with Roger. It's not been displayed, but at the same time, it's heavily applied. I mean, he's the Pirate King. In order to compete, he definitely has to have all 3 types that are advanced. They both have no Devil Fruit, just swordsmanship and Haki. If Roger was 100, I'd probably put Prime Rayleigh around 95 to 97, and similar to Shanks and Ben Beckman, I'd put my money on Roger, but if Rayleigh were to win, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. The reason why I brought up Shanks and Rayleigh are because those are 2 individuals that Zoro has to pass. Zoro, he is Luffy's Rayleigh. Zoro will unlock everything Haki related that Rayleigh has, and if Zoro, he wants to defeat Mihawk, so in doing so, he needs to be on the level of Shanks minimum, and I think he'll even surpass him because of everything that Shanks has. Mihawk has to have it too. If not, then Mihawk wouldn't have been able to compete against him. So who wins right now? Is it current Luffy or current Zoro? I think the answer is Luffy, because he still needs to learn about Gear 5th and how to utilize that a little bit better. Same with his Haki. I think he needs to become proficient or better in using it. And then Zoro, he still needs to learn Future Sight, and he needs to unlock Black Blades. But whenever that happens, I think they'll be relatively close together. If Luffy's a 100 in terms of strength, Zoro's probably a 97. And this is because they're 2 dreams: to become the Pirate King, to become the world's strongest swordsman. If the 2 of them were to walk into a bar, who am I picking? I'm picking Luffy, but if Zoro were to win, it wouldn't surprise me. It's kind of like Goku and Vegeta. I would pick Goku to win, but if Vegeta were to come out on top victorious, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. As the captain, Luffy definitely needs to be the strongest. If he weren't, then he wouldn't be fit to be the captain. I don't think there's anybody in the series aside from Buggy that we know of that the captain isn't the strongest. I don't think he needs to have some crazy gap compared to some other crews that we've seen, because EOS Luffy will probably be number 1, number 2 in terms of strength, and then Zoro will probably be number 4 or number 6, and I think that's fine. But let me know, do you guys think Luffy needs to be the strongest on the crew? And if you do, by how much? You guys think it needs to be a lot, a little, or could he be equal to different characters? But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's on the screen in the description below. And don't forget to unleash your potential.